why I want to. That's why I've been.
We have a habit of kicking this table and making wonderful noises.
It ain't that bad.
It just adds a little dynamic, little epicness to it.
Epicness. Wow, so we need to start. Hello. I think Jansen's hosting this one.
No, we decided you're going to host this.
Yeah,
today.
you're the new host, Reed.
We're going out of order.
I guess I did bring our guest to the table.
If you bring the guest, you're the host.
That's just how it works.
So I'm sitting here next to jazz legend Brennan Carter.
Yeah!
Brennan, my hero.
Reed, you're too nice.
That's true.
Too nice to me.
I'm way too nice to Brennan.
He's not exaggerating.
You're
It's
hyping this intro up, and now the whole thing is going to feel like shit.
If God...
Brennan has been on TV, so...
It's true.
Yeah.
Not all of us have
multiple
been on Jimmy
times
Kimmel.
or once.
Do we want to start
Just
there?
one main
Oh,
time.
No, we won't. No, that'll be that's our...
That's our surprise.
Well, someone already said the person's name, the show's name that he was on.
I did.
But we'll
hopefully you don't listen to Jansen.
No one listens to my voice anyway. They kind of
more.
just tune it out.
So that's our
Brennan
teaser right now.
That's our
Reed.
teaser.
Our teaser is Brennan has been on TV. Now let's go back through his life.
Start from the beginning, Brennan.
From the beginning.
Let's start from the beginning. What hospital?
Swedish hospital, Seattle, Washington.
Okay, so you're a native. A
Born
real
native.
local native.
Real
So,
local native.
How quickly after birth did you pick the trumpet up?
It was probably 10 years after birth, I'd have to say.
And let's not say after birth too much. We all know that that's not a good subject to talk about. Okay, so you're 10.
I'm 10.
Why the trumpet?
Well, I picked the trumpet because I wanted to play the French horn. Because it sounds better. It sounds cooler than the trumpet. And then I never made the switch. They told me I had to pick the trumpet to switch to French horn eventually. So, started on trumpet and never made the switch.
You never made why didn't you ever make the switch? Trumpet was good enough?
Trumpet's one of those things where once you devote a certain amount of time to it, it's such a terrible a difficult instrument. You kind of just don't want to give up. It's like you have your whole life invested, or a big chunk of time, and then you don't want to.
That sounds like the complete opposite of me.
How do you feel about playing trumpet?
I put a lot of time into trumpet and just gave up because I was lazy and
I guess it's one or the other. But after a certain point, it's like, I want to give it up, even though it's hard.
Well, have you played? Did you play other instruments too?
I do. I play piano.
I've seen you play a mean tambourine. I've seen it. It's...
Thanks.
That's truth right there.
Tambourine, yeah, it's one of those. Actually, tambourine's harder than you think. Like
it is.
And classical technique is very difficult on tambourine. But I play piano and some upright bass and
that's right.
A lot of brass instruments. Trumpet I'm obviously the best at, but
sure.
So we don't have to call it. Brennan is a musician. He's not just a trumpet player.
A prodigy.
Not just a trumpet prodigy, an all-around prodigy.
No, that's not true.
Oh, don't be so humble. We've seen you in action.
I was I always like to say this. Brennan's done pretty well for himself as a trumpet player, but
thanks, Reed.
I'll always remember. And I'll always remind Brennan that I was his section leader in high school. I just want him to know that I was one step ahead of him in high school.
That's true.
And I'll never let him forget it.
And Reed, you still have this gift with trumpet that you can pick it up after not playing for years, and then actually still sound like a trumpet player.
But I can only play for 5 minutes, but yeah.
Yeah, sure, but I mean, I pick up trumpet after taking a week off, and I sound like a 5th grader. So it's pretty impressive.
It's true. I mean, I could have been the greatest of all time. I just didn't. Ha 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 ha.
I thought you were gonna go with a Kanye spin on that.
Of all time.
Of all time.
Beyonce had one of the best videos of all. Okay, so let's move on back to Brennan. Brennan. We're not even going to try and list... I guess we can try and list all the groups that you play with that are your... How many groups would you say are your groups that you started?
That I've started?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Over the last 5 years, I've been in a lot of groups, but after college, a lot of those groups have kind of split up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's probably a dozen.
Yeah.
And some of them have done cool stuff, but yeah, like I said, a lot of them have broken up before.
What do you have right now though that's yours?
Right now is kind of that transitional stage. I'm starting 2 new groups. One new group I've been wanting to do for a few years with kind of like my musical partner, companion guy, Jared Katz. And he's an amazing drummer in a band called Beat Connection. And we've been wanting to start this like Grizzly Bear influenced
Good choice.
band. And so it's kind of a fusion of like indie rock, you know, which we like, and jazz, which we like alternative jazz. So it's instrumental, and that's just getting off the ground. We're playing at his recital in April, which will be cool. April or May. And then I'm starting a new band called Umbra with one of my oldest musical partners, Asan Karimi, another drummer. And that's called Umbra. And he and I have composed most of the music for that, but he's on tour in Costa Rica right now, so that's gonna take
So who's
a
he
little
on
hiatus.
tour with?
I forget the name of the band. It's some East Coast band
Huh.
from Boston.
And he was not. He was the Dino Jams drummer.
He did drum and Dino Jams
Okay.
for the last Dino Jams.
Was that because
6
did
months?
Saba stop playing with you guys? At a certain
No,
point?
Saba
That
switched
was-
over to guitar.
Oh, sweet. Oh, I
Yeah.
do remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was kind of the last leg of Dino
Right.
Jams.
So when did Dino Jam stop playing?
It's been a year, almost a
'Cause,
year.
I mean, with that many people, it's got to be hard to consistently play together. I mean, whether it's practice, get shows. It was a pretty
Yeah.
big group.
Yeah, that ultimately led to the demise. I think was we had 9 members in our at most.
Too bloated.
But like,
Too bloated. I mean, when we were focused and we had big shows coming up, you know, like that sort of pressure really helps you to like stay focused and rehearse regularly and everything. But it was hard to choose one direction with so many people. And as a horn player, when you're playing in a horn section of 4 people, it's hard to have like an individual voice kind of, and to yeah, I don't know, to feel like
it's hard enough with 4 people. I mean, even to like get a real
Sure,
direction
yeah,
going.
exactly.
So, I mean, you're just going up exponentially with more people.
Sure, that was actually something I was wondering, because when you're in that type of situation where it's not just you playing one thing, it's you and 4 other guys or 3 other guys, do you feel creatively stifled in that situation? Do you feel like you're just kind of doing
No, it's not that you're stifled, but it's that everything takes longer, right? Because if everybody has an idea, that takes, 9 people have to explain their ideas. And if everybody tries to do that one time, it's not going to work. So it's kind of like sometimes you have to not say anything if you don't think it's going to be productive, or I don't know. It just makes everything harder and take longer.
And in this case, Jeff, longer and harder is not better.
the one case.
But actually, I'm going to be starting, at least playing with a new hip-hop band with Zach, the rapper, Turtle Toes.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Turtle T. And some of the old Dino guys, but that hasn't really been announced yet.
Well, please say
well,
that's
now
gonna
it
happen.
has.
Please say that's going to happen.
This is Rhino Hams, right?
Rhino Hams.
I mean, I can honestly say, seeing you guys' show, I saw you guys like 3 or 4 times, but that was like a religious experience for me.
It was so fun.
I
Your shows
put
were
it.
bomb.
I put it in like
Thanks.
actually the top concerts I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That CD release
I'm not exaggerating when I say
Ed-
that.
Chop Suey?
Chop Suey.
Yeah, that was
so good.
That was one of the most fun shows, yeah.
I mean, I couldn't believe it. And the
I've never
album-
had a crowd. I've never seen a crowd that was so pumped for the show too.
And, like, my professors were there and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
I even remember seeing you guys for the first time was at the Sound Off, EMP Sound Off.
Yeah,
and
that
just,
was-
Which they won.
which you guys won, which was amazing. But I just remember like, oh, we knew you were gonna be there. We were gonna show up. We didn't know what to expect, and it tore it like everyone
Yeah.
like away.
Well, I want to thank you guys for your support. That's pretty
Sorry.
cool.
We don't need to
We're
turn
a bit
this
of
into
kiss
little-
asses, but
We haven't figured out the the criticism thing yet. We'll get there. Next time you're on, we'll rip you.
Well, why do we gotta criticize our guests?
It's like the worst people on the internet.
we'll get
It's like
there.
this sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not when they have those guys sitting in front of them. They're not gonna say, "Oh,
That's
suck."
true. We're
I will.
behind.
So if I weren't here and you were talking
No, we're
about me on
gonna
the show,
talk
then-
real bad behind your back now.
yeah, like the worst of Seattle music episode.
Yeah, the
in
first,
Dino
the
Jam.
first 10 minutes are the interview. The second 10 minutes, you go home, then we talk about you.
Yeah,
So,
there you go.
did you guys hear what he said?
What an asshole that guy. Just talking about all these bands. So how do you have time how do you have time to be in 15 groups? You're teaching.
Teaching, right?
Well, I'm not in 15
Privately-
groups right now.
Well,
I'm like the
Soon.
last 6 months, I've been teaching private lessons. I have 10 students now,
Whoa.
and I teach at Ballard High School, and so I have most of the daytime free, and that's when I practice and compose, and hang out and be lazy and stuff, and then I teach. And so then there's rehearsals and stuff at night, every once in a while. But actually now I've been like full timing.
Sorry, I just noticed we have like the same maker of watch.
Oh, Skagen, yeah.
You got good style, my friend.
Yeah, man, Denmark.
Sorry.
That's nice.
Sorry to interrupt. All right, back to it.
No worries.
thanks.
I like a good watch. Actually, the last 2 weeks and for the next like 3 or 4 weeks, I'm doing a full time, I'm filling in full time at Roosevelt High School for the band teacher there.
That's rad.
So it's
That's
like
cool.
every day, full day.
They have a huge music program, don't they?
It's insane.
They
so
win Ellington thing every year.
they got second in Ellington last
That's
year.
cool.
They're
Congrats,
going again.
man. That's awesome.
So
That's
it's
a good
been
gig.
fun, and it's crazy. They're so good there. There's so many great musicians. So it makes me want to go home and practice all the time, but it's also really exhausting because I'm still doing all my other stuff like Ballard. So I teach at Ballard High School at 6:50 in the morning. Then I drive to Roosevelt, and then after Roosevelt, I'll like teach private lessons and rehearse and stuff.
They're all over Seattle.
So Wednesday,
Spreading the music.
Child's play.
like
Spreading the music.
some days are shitty as hell. Like this Wednesday, it's like 6:30 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. Just like driving around.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's yeah.
What is the life you chose? What do you think? What do you
I was gonna say it's a good time to take a break because we got to play a clip of Brennan's music,
Cool.
which we have no idea what it's gonna be yet.
How do we make the break happen? Do I
You're saying,
just-
all right, we're going to
this
take a
is
little break. We'll be right back.
See, this obviously is the first time we've ever done
This
it.
is our
Yes,
first
it is.
break
This
of the
is-
show.
This is groundbreaking.
5, 4,
Groundbreaking.
3, 2,
Brennan's music.
1. Brennan's music. was something, Brennan. Now, what did you think of that song by... Okay.
That was magic.
That was... Okay, that was good. All right, Brennan.
So that was probably the most awkward break anyone has ever taken.
You gotta practice to get good at this.
That's okay.
Jack.
We'll
This
do it
is-
more. We'll do another. We got another one coming up in like 8 or 10 minutes.
That's
so.
true.
Oh, we got another break.
Yeah. Don't
Why
worry.
don't we just take it right now, folks?
One break at a time.
So we didn't... Did anything happen that we all want to talk about? I mean, Lil Wayne supposedly was going to die today, which was crushing.
Wait,
to
so
me.
I have no idea. Did you hear about this, Brennan?
No.
So this is all over the news. Twitter was just blowing up about Lil Wayne apparently like having seizures and then in the hospital.
TMZ said that he was in a coma, and his mom was flying to make the decision as to whether to pull the plug on him. All of this totally made up. Like,
Is that what it is? Because I heard like he was tweeting on Twitter and then people were saying that couldn't have been him if he was in a coma.
He was. I think.
well,
that,
then his friends,
It's really
His-
hard to find
his
anything
posse.
funny.
his Young Money dudes, Birdman and somebody else were saying like this is all this report from TMZ is totally bogus, but other news outlets are picking up on it. Twitter's crazy. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
I sent Jansen this message like, oh god, because someone put that, oh no, Lil Wayne is gonna die, and then I was like, well, I have to look into this, and then I found the TMZ story, and then I told Jansen it was happening, and then 5 minutes later, it's immediately shot down. But the fact is, TMZ got so many hits
Yeah.
from making this ridiculous thing.
Well, that's the thing. They're gonna say it regardless if it's true.
It's too
They're
bad
not.
it's
They're not
not
gonna
true.
get any backlash.
And we
They're not gonna get any backlash.
We talked about this in a previous episode. That, like, you know, what's going to happen to them? Nothing's going to happen to them. There's no credit. There's no
Exactly.
accountability for this
Mhm.
for journalism like that.
Yeah, especially when
Unless
they-
it's a direct attack against a person's
Mhm.
thing. But even still, freedom of the press, man.
Definitely. But it is amazing.
America.
It is amazing.
America.
People are going to flock right back there. People are going to flock right back. And the next time that they say that George Clooney lost half of his face, oh no, that was just someone shot him getting out of a car and half of his face was hidden behind a door or something.
I think to be fair, Lil Wayne was in the hospital.
Oh, he was.
He
I
has
know.
seizures or whatever. I mean,
But
and
there
none
was
of us
no-
are probably.
Pulling the plug ultimatum.
Right.
Yeah,
It
like
was
how
just
would they
such a
possibly know that?
fantastic story, like just in terms of, wow, isn't this dramatic? And anyway,
Well, clearly, I mean, we're talking about it right now.
exactly. No, I was
That's
like,
how it works.
yeah,
It's the drama of high media personalities, right? Same with MJ, like all that. Like that was a crazy.
Oh god, yeah.
That was like a news story for years.
That's true.
That would be Michael Jackson, not Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
I can't say.
Unless Michael Jordan dies in the next 5 days.
You don't keep up
No,
to date
no,
with this stuff?
man.
No. Can't say I really keep up to date with all that.
All right, well, here's a sloppy.
With the pop culture.
Cool. A sloppy transition. I guess Lil Wayne's part of hip hop, but have you had much experience with hip hop before playing with Zach and Dino Jams? Because it sounds like you're doing another group with it. What's your past experience with it? An opinion of it?
I didn't have any experience with hip hop until I joined that group, and even like upon joining that group, I didn't really like it or appreciate it,
Mhm.
or I guess understand it really. And I mean, to this day, there's still the majority of hip hop I have a hard time gelling with, but I think Zach really showed me like how much artistry can be involved in.
I think all of us have been at that same exact place.
definitely.
Like,
I think
definitely.
it was called high school.
There was a
Junior
moment-
high and high school, we were like, I don't listen to rap.
I don't listen to rap. It's not cool. Rap
Yeah,
is
but-
crap. Ugh.
Yeah, that's a pretty.
I think a
Terrible
huge
attitude.
turning point for me was I love this group Cinematic Orchestra,
Mm.
and they that song with Roots Manueva,
Mhm.
All Things to All Men. That is still probably my favorite. I wouldn't even call it hip hop, but it has. I mean, he's a rapper with this group, but it's just kind of like the perfect coming together of instrumental music and rap.
He was on the Gorillaz song
Oh, nice.
All Alone.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's really hard. I mean, I feel like for people, especially if you listen to, popular music, to get into hip-hop because, I mean, that top layer of rap that gets on the radio is usually, it's usually your club dance thing, and
the
core of hip-hop.
Music, yeah.
I mean, like, The Roots are a huge band, but if you try to name a hit of theirs, you can't name one. I mean, and so it's groups like that aren't getting out to people, and so it's easy to form that opinion, like, oh, you don't have an appreciation for hip-hop because you don't get to ever hear it.
And I think that right now, the big thing, because I remember having conversations in college when Jansen was listening to hip hop and telling me, "Oh God, this is so good," and I was like, "I don't understand. I don't get why this is good." It took me forever. It took me, and I talk about it all the time. But listening to Kanye West opened the door. Was really like the gateway hip hop. Him and Outkast and the Roots and that type of thing is really good because it combines. Because, like, it's becoming so blended now. Even we reviewed that A$AP Rocky album. A$AP Rocky, as a rapper, is very sort of, I don't know, gangstery or whatever. You wouldn't think his the kind of beats and things that he uses would be the type of thing he would, but now they're getting blended so much.
Another group that, like, I really got me into, or I started appreciating hip-hop because it was Common Market.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, like, some of his stuff is so interesting. Like, the beats are so cool, and his, like, cadences are super interesting. And I actually got to play with him at,
Really?
the Showbox Market. Yeah, in the horn section.
You did?
Yeah,
Cool.
he for a couple shows, he used to have a live band, and so I played with him.
How do you get a gig like that?
You know people. It's the same
Gotta make
thing.
those
Same thing with
connections.
with any industry.
And name another artist that you recently played in the horn section for that is maybe
That I already spilled the beans
well
on.
known.
Yes, Alan's.
Wait, name it after this break.
After we
Okay.
get back,
We'll be right back.
station identification.
Another song. Here we go.
Oh, this is always going to be awkward.
the awkward.
It's awkward if you laugh.
So, Brennan, we were talking about your experience.
Why don't you just say it so it's not so awkward if you're asking me?
We're doing the whole build-up thing. We
All
want you
right,
to-
Brennan played.
Sounds like my dad.
Brennan played with.
Dr. Carter.
now tell them who you've been playing with, son.
That's the kind of vibe we put
Oh,
on.
God. Oh, that's good. All right, Brennan played with a little Seattle artist. He's not little, but
He's not
Alan
little.
Stone on a certain late night talk show called The Jimmy Kimmel Show. So
Yep.
Brennan was on TV in front of millions of people.
I think 3 million.
I saw that clip.
Ooh.
I saw that clip.
Oh yeah, we all watched that. I'm
You
sure.
saw the left side of my face.
Yeah,
Brennan
yeah.
Yeah.
rocking out. Brennan's got the stage thing down.
Well, and
You know how to look cool on stage.
Okay, good.
You played
Yeah.
multiple shows with Alan, right?
Yeah, we've
Are you still playing with him?
no. Well, they're in tour right now, on tour in Europe.
Mm.
I wish I could be there.
Well, how'd you get that? Is it because you know people, like you were saying before, or is it just like, I'm
So,
badass, let me play with
I've
you?
also well, how I got that one was a little bit different because I was playing with this other singer, Ray Dalton, who's tours with Macklemore.
Yeah, that's right.
And
He's
so-
been on a lot of talk shows now.
Yeah, no, they are. I think they're at South by Southwest right now. But so we were playing a show opening for Alan, and then the next day, their bass player messaged me on Facebook and was like, "Hey, do you want to come to LA and play this gig on Jimmy Kimmel?" So I said, "I'll think about it." And then
So
I said
modest.
immediately, "No, yeah, of course." And it was the day before my recital, the day after my recital. So, recitals for music students are like these huge climaxes of your education, and so that's a big deal. And then so I played it. It was kind of really nerve-wracking, and then in the morning I like flew out to LA. So it was kind of like felt pretty cool, but I was more nervous for my recital, honestly.
So how
Nice.
was being on the Jimmy Kimmel Show?
Did you get to meet Jimmy?
We met him, yeah, just kind of like right after we were done. You know, he kind of like is in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's a busy man.
It was pretty surreal. It kind of was like over as soon as it happened. So my buddy Art plays saxophone, and he was doing the gig too. And so we flew down together, which was cool, carpooled and everything. And then, you know, like we get on the plane and we're like, oh, this is like crazy. This is happening. And then we get there and it's like, oh, this is crazy. It's happening. And then we play and then we'll go back to the hotel and then we fly home. And it was just so fast.
No cast parties? You didn't get to party with Jimmy or nothing?
Wasn't Will
no.
Ferrell on
Yeah,
that
I was gonna ask who the
episode?
guests were.
Will Ferrell was on that episode, but
you didn't get to meet him?
no, I don't.
Oh.
I think they like
They probably film it at different times.
pre-recorded it
Yeah.
or some. I don't know. It was different.
They,
Well,
that's,
you were in a different place. Where you were playing was a separate stage, right?
It's right next to the his desk area, and they recorded at the same time, but I feel like when Will Ferrell was on, they did it at a different time with a different audience.
It's possible.
you mean as opposed to the other guest who was on?
Yeah,
Who was the other guest?
some
Some
girl that could like say any word backwards, like immediately.
Wow, I feel like I've
He,
seen
like,
I've
get-
seen his guest before.
Yeah, he would like give her a piece of paper with like just like a paragraph, and she would just read the entire thing backwards.
Whoa.
It's pretty. That's really awesome,
That's-
especially because like that late night like section of television talk shows. They're doing a really good job. We got Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel.
Craigie.
Craig.
Craigie
Conan.
Ferg.
Well, he's not
Yeah.
late night anymore.
Conan's isn't he at 11 now? Or is he back at...
I think he's still at the same time as Letterman and Leno.
Yeah,
Oh,
11:30.
okay.
But that whole that's pretty boring.
Yeah, that's for the old. That's
late
for
night
the old
television.
folks. Letterman, Leno.
Well, shoot, man. Also, we wanted to talk about ImpFest.
Yeah.
Since
Improvised music
the
project.
improvised music
festival.
project that we've never actually been to, but can you tell us a little about
Yeah.
what that's all about?
So the Improvised Music Project, or IMP for short, is it's a club and an organization that I and some friends founded I might have been my freshman or sophomore year at UW, and it's a legitimate RSO and everything, but it's kind of its sole purpose is
What's RSO? Just
registered student organization.
okay.
We're not all down with the lingo here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's a stupid thing.
No,
no, not at all.
You should feel bad, Brennan.
That was actually pretty stupid.
You're never coming back here.
Anyway, so the purpose of this group is to provide kind of a foundation for the improvised music community that's kind of based out of the UW Jazz Studies program. There's a lot of really interesting music happening, but a lot of it never kind of left the building. So it's kind of branched out to kind of partner with this other association, Racer Sessions, which is a weekly improvised music jam session, and this new record label, Table and Chairs, which is another kind of foundation to get that music out there. So there's 3 groups, kind of
Were the other
sister
two
groups.
founded in UW too?
Yeah, well, UW students.
Okay.
Some current students and graduates,
Cool.
but all jazz students.
So when is this happening?
Yeah, so we started ImpFest, which is a yearly music festival, and we've kind of done it in a few different formats, but it's every spring. And this one is April 25th, 6th, and 7th. And it's at the Good Shepherd Center, the Chapel Performance Space in Wallingford. And there's some amazing artists this year. I don't have much to do with organizing it. I am playing at it, but...
Where you'll be improvising with people much better than us, where you just improvised.
Well, since I graduated,
Whoa.
Wait.
Well, anyway, I don't want to diss you guys.
No.
It's true, but I don't want to miss you guys.
But it is true.
But it's true.
For instance, Bill Frisell is playing, and he's one of the most highly, the best guitar players out there today. Jazz guitar players. He's from Seattle, but he's like internationally known.
Mm-hmm.
Check him out if you don't know who that is. And then there's some UW groups, and then Eric Rivas, bass player who's played with the best of them, is playing. Ted Porn Kung Vu. If you don't know those names, you should check them out.
Kung Vu was your jazz teacher. At
Yeah, UW.
Sounds extremely
He
familiar. I
played-
do remember seeing that name.
Kung Vu played with Pat Metheny and a lot of big names. David Bowie for a little bit.
See, I've heard of all of those except David Bowie.
Yeah, who's this
that guy?
Bowie thing you speak of?
Ziggy played.
And so I'm
inside.
going to be playing with this group Sequoia Ensemble, which is led by saxophonist Levi Gillis. And I actually tried to get him to come today, but he couldn't make it.
Oh,
Next time.
So we play on the 26th,
cool. That's a Friday.
April 26th. That is a Friday.
So is it an all day festival, kind of like or is it just it's like a?
It's nighttime, so it's 3 concerts in a row. And in the past, we've done like a 2-week long thing, like music every night. And
In
that
different places,
that's in different places. It's really hard to organize. B, it's a small community, so it's kind of like those 2 weeks, everybody is just kind of drained by the end of it.
Yeah, sure.
So this is kind of like really high level music and just 3 nights in a row.
So that's April 26th, 27th, 28th.
25th,
5, 6, 7.
I'm so sorry. 25th, 25th, 26th, 27th, in Wallingford at
The Good Shepherd Center.
the Good Shepherd Center.
We'll
We should all
put
check
it
out.
on the.
We'll do a live stream podcast from there.
Okay. Oh, we could do that. I just mean we'll put it in the description so that we'll put a link and everything. People can
Yeah.
find it.
It's really sad.
What?
We
You want to do this?
What am I doing?
You're doing
we got some websites.
Oh god,
the pimpin'.
this means I have to read
You
things.
don't have. I can do it.
Now let me try this.
Yeah, you are the host.
Wait, there's only...
There should be only 2 on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just can't read.
Okay.
Dub,
I can...
dub.
Here, let's have a Brennan do his
So-
own websites.
If you want to see my website, it's brennancartertrumpet.blogspot.com. Or if you want to check out the IMP website, improvisemusicproject.com.
You didn't even have to look at the thing.
And we'll put those on as well,
We'll put those on the internets.
where people can click on the thing and it'll take them to the thing.
The IMP website's cool. They have some interviews, some videos. I think there's a video of me on there from 2 years ago.
Was that the one you played with Friendly Creature?
Friendly Creature,
That's a really, really cool.
Thanks.
Like,
Yeah, that's a pretty sweet video. You guys could link that too if you want.
Okay.
we'll decide. We'll
yeah,
decide
don't-
that.
Don't tell us what to do.
There's
okay,
also
Brennan.
some recordings and videos on my website that you can listen to.
All right.
Well, sweet. It's been awesome.
Do we need to hit on anything else?
I think we pretty much hit everything else.
I mean,
we didn't talk much about Joe not being here.
I was
but-
gonna do that on the intro. I was gonna mention.
Oh.
I was gonna give a little shout out.
Who's Joe? Oh,
Oh,
Joe!
oh, that guy that
That's
was
right.
on all of
We
them.
had another host that was supposed to be here.
Noticeably absent.
He's enjoying South by Southwest right now.
Not only is he there, he is performing.
Oh,
Did he
I didn't
perform
know
with?
I believe he's performing.
I know he's hanging out with Kyle.
Oh God,
Kyle-
Joe! I'm sorry if you're not. I believe he's.
His music is being at least
The
performed.
point, yeah, his stuff is being played.
He's playing in a boot box. Boot
Boot box.
A boot.
A boot.
You know
box.
what?
we can't, we can't in good conscience do Joe's ridiculous question of the day.
Joe's question will be back next episode.
No, none of us can. It's not even. I mean, the questions are amazing, but it's not even the It's the.
It's the lead up
delivery.
to the
It's
actual
the-
question.
Okay, so okay, I'm not even gonna try it.
No.
So that will be missing for this episode. So I'm sorry,
Cool.
but we had Brennan, and it's all good.
Thank you, Brennan.
Thank you,
Thank
Brennan.
you, man.
you,
Illuminating.
guys.
You've been a gentleman and a scholar.
It's been a great
I
time.
hope you'll come back and hang out with us again.
Yep.
Yeah, I would love to.
Oh God, stop it.
Enjoy Nude by
Okay, so
Radiohead.
before I say anything
No,
else,
Steph.
Thank you for listening
Oh,
to the
God,
Talking
hit the-
oh God, turn it off.
Hit the button. Hit the.
We are the Never Nudes, and this is Nude by Radiohead.
1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3.
There we go.
Whatever.
There's nothing better than being nude and hot cocoa.